In the early 19th century, the movement of goods in America relied heavily on rivers, canals, and railroads. These systems were efficient for their time, connecting growing cities and towns. However, most roads were rudimentary, rough, and served only local needs, leaving rural areas largely isolated. Freight was carried in horse-drawn wagons, and while trains offered faster transport for larger shipments, they could only reach urban hubs. The final leg of delivery still depended on wagons, highlighting the need for more flexible transportation methods. Everything began to change in 1896 when German inventor Gottlieb Daimler built the first motorized truck. It was a modest machine with a 4-horsepower engine and a belt-driven system, but it represented a major leap forward. For the first time, freight could be moved faster and more efficiently without relying on animals. Just 3 years later, in 1899, the Winton Motor Carriage Company introduced another innovation, the first trailer truck. By attaching a small trailer to a motorized car, they created a design that closely resembled the horse-drawn wagons of the past. This simple yet effective concept set the stage for modern freight transportation. These pioneering advancements laid the foundation for the trucking industry we know today. From horse-drawn wagons to motorized vehicles, the late 1800s marked the dawn of a new era in transportation.
At the start of the 1900s, the trucking industry began to take shape. In 1900, Jack and Gus Mack founded Mack Trucks in Brooklyn, New York. They built some of the first motorized trucks, setting the foundation for modern trucking. These trucks were more efficient than wagons and opened new possibilities for transporting goods. But with progress came challenges. Drivers, who were used to horse-drawn wagons, now faced long hours and tough working conditions. To improve wages and rights, unions formed. By 1903, the International Brotherhood of Teamsters was created, uniting drivers and giving them a powerful voice. In 1913, states took action to protect roads by introducing weight limits for trucks. These limits ranged from 18,000 to 28,000 pounds and helped prevent damage to the gravel and dirt roads of the time. During World War I, from 1914 to 1918, trucks became essential. The U.S. military relied on them to move supplies quickly and efficiently. Trucks like the Liberty Truck set a new standard for heavy-duty vehicles, proving their value in both military and civilian life. Then came a game-changer in 1920, the invention of diesel engines. Diesel trucks were not only more powerful, but also more fuel-efficient. They could travel longer distances, helping businesses expand and boosting America's growing economy. This era was a turning point for trucking, with key developments that set the stage for the modern industry we know today.
In the previous part, we talked about the early days of trucking and the rise of drivers' rights. In this segment, we'll explore the era of regulation and growth from 1930 to 1950. By the 1930s, trucking was growing rapidly, fair competition and safety. In 1933, the American Trucking Associations, ATA, was formed, uniting trucking companies under one organization to represent their interests. In 1935, the Motor Carrier Act was passed, placing trucking under federal regulation by the Interstate Commerce Commission. This act introduced licensing, rate controls, and safety standards. During World War II, 1941 to 1945, trucking proved its importance once again. The Red Ball Express, a convoy system, became legendary for delivering critical supplies to Allied forces across Europe. These efforts highlighted the role of trucks in wartime logistics, earning them a reputation as the backbone of supply chains. In 1943, the idea of a national interstate highway system was proposed, inspired by the need for faster and more efficient transportation across the country. By the late 1940s and into the 1950s, the foundation was set for an industry that would power America's economy for decades to come. Trucking transformed from a small-scale operation to a critical part of the nation's transportation network, thanks to regulation, organization, and innovation during this period. In our last segment, we explored the regulation and growth of the industry. Now let's dive into the modernization and infrastructure era, from 1950 to 1980. In 1956, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Federal Aid Highway Act, launching one of the largest infrastructure projects in U.S. history. Over 41,000 miles of interstate highways were planned, transforming the trucking industry. These highways connected cities and states like never before, making long-haul trucking faster and more efficient. By 1974, the U.S. faced an energy crisis. To conserve fuel, the federal government enforced a national 55-mile-per-hour speed limit. This created challenges for truckers, but also highlighted their critical role in keeping goods moving during tough times. In 1980, the Motor Carrier Act ushered in a new era. Deregulation reduced federal control over the industry, spurring competition and innovation. From massive infrastructure investments to game-changing deregulation, this period shaped the modern trucking industry we know today. Trucks became an unstoppable force, driving America's economy forward.
In our last segment, we explored the rise of modernization and infrastructure. Now let's dive into the technological revolution that reshaped the industry from 1980 to 2000. In 1981, the U.S. government standardized the 80,000-pound weight limit for interstate highways. Before this, different states had their own limits, causing inefficiencies and confusion for trucking companies. The new standard streamlined long-haul freight transport, improving efficiency and ensuring safer, more consistent road conditions. However, it also led to stricter enforcement and the need for stronger, more reliable trucks to handle the heavy loads. The 1980s and 1990s saw groundbreaking advancements in trucking technology. New aerodynamic truck designs reduced fuel consumption, while onboard computers monitored vehicle performance and improved maintenance tracking. Satellite tracking systems allowed fleet managers to optimize routes, reduce delivery times, and track shipments with pinpoint accuracy. Meanwhile, communication technology took a huge leap forward. The introduction of cell phones, CB radios, and early GPS systems made it easier for dispatchers to stay in touch with drivers. But with growth came new challenges. The trucking industry faced concerns over driver fatigue, safety violations, and rising accident rates. To address this, the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration was established in 2000. This agency introduced stricter hours of service regulations, vehicle inspections, and driver training programs to improve road safety and working conditions. From weight regulations to digital innovations, this era laid the foundation for a smarter, more efficient, and technology-driven trucking industry. The digital revolution had begun, paving the way for even bigger changes in the 21st century.
In our last episode, we explored the technological revolution that reshaped the trucking industry from 1980 to 2000. Today, we dive into the digital age, covering the years 2005 to 2015, a time when the trucking world embraced digital technologies to improve safety, compliance, and efficiency. In 2005, the trucking industry saw significant changes to the hours of service, HOS regulations, driven by the Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, FMCSA. These changes aimed to combat driver fatigue and reduce accidents by limiting the number of hours truckers could spend on the road without adequate rest. The new rules included shorter driving periods, mandatory rest breaks, and stricter weekly limits. The 2005 revisions were a key moment in ensuring safer roads, though they did present new challenges for trucking companies. The changes impacted scheduling, delivery times, and operational efficiency. Despite the growing pains, these regulations were vital for improving safety and better supporting truck drivers' well-being. Fast forward to 2015, when a major digital shift occurred with the introduction of the electronic logging device (ELD) mandate. This mandate required most commercial trucks to install ELDs to automatically track and record drivers' hours of service, replacing paper logbooks once and for all. The ELD mandate was a game changer, modernizing how companies tracked driving hours and ensuring compliance with HOS regulations. The move toward electronic tracking was part of the broader digital age revolution. For the first time, the trucking industry moved away from manual paperwork. This digital shift didn't stop with ELD's fleet management, and tracking became more efficient, and GPS, telematics, and real-time dispatching tools started to shape the way trucking companies operated. From 2005 to 2015, the trucking industry saw tremendous growth in its digital capabilities and the technologies that are shaping the future of U.S. trucking.